Well, we have a 51st state in the United States. Will there be a North Colorado and a South Carolina? And, the major media makes it sound like it's a little bit different from what's really going on. They make it sound like it's an economic type thing. Talking about the oil and gas revenue from the state of Colorado, most of it coming out of northeastern Colorado. Weld, Yuma County, and some of other counties. 70% of K-12 funding is coming off state lands in Weld County alone. So they're economic drivers. So they want to, the major media wants to make it sound like it's a thing where it's all over economics, but it is not over economics. It is over guns. And the Colorado state governors actually try to make it illegal for many of these types of simple weapons to be, like even pump action shotguns and things like that, to be illegal in the state where there's a lot of hunting. And when you're hunting and you get some big game, it saves you a hell of a lot of money on your food bill. When you're talking, several dollars per pound for meat or whatever, for wild game, it's and you have 100 pounds of it. That's quite a bit of money well saved. Some people in the yuppie jet set arena just can't imagine that, but for average people in Colorado, guns is a very important thing, and that is really the issue. It's not really over fracking and all this other type of stuff you're talking about and revenue. But what might happen, this is a map of Colorado, more like a topographical map, but what might happen is with this, it's really tough because it's kind of a pipe dream, but what would happen is ideally, they want to separate also some counties in Nebraska and some counties in Kansas. It'll be all up in here. That would break away. But the catch-all, this is more like a politicized drama thing because the catch-all is it has to be approved by the Colorado state legislature and it has to be approved by the U.S. Congress. So, but in reality, the major media is not really telling you what's going on. They're talking about, economic conditions, basically the northeast of Colorado, which is bringing in most of the revenue for the state through fracking and well drilling and things like that, and oil and gas revenue. It is really not over that issue. It really is over the issue of guns, and the major media has really kept silent on that all the way. But it's a matter of our freedoms or not having our freedoms. So, if this does turn about, I know it's not going to turn about. I guess the only way it's going to happen is, if people in effect ignore the structures that are there, and sometimes that's the way to do it, because, and the way I'm getting at is, you could possibly have like a state within a state by, there's a lot of things like that. You do have like areas that are controlled by other people, and I don't want to get too far into saying what that would be, but in effect you can have borders without borders and things like that. It exists in other parts of the world, it exists in the United States, but where the will of the people is strong, it's going to come about one way or the other. So, it's not going to come about politically, because the Congress has to approve this. The legislature of the Colorado government has to approve the separation of breaking out of 54th state. But it may come about by the will of the people in effect. And if you get my drift on that, because many times, even in cities, you have borders that aren't there, but that's just how it is, right? So if people believe in something, they could set up their own state in one way or the other, and that's just how it is. But it really is over gun rights more than anything, and the major media is totally silent on it. They make it sound like it's economic conditions and oil and gas revenue. It really does not have anything to do with that at all.